Speaking of Henderson, what's with this "I'm retired" program? He's even like had a retirement party out there in California as an annual pig roast, but it doubled this year as like a retirement party. But then he's laying some groundwork in the media to fight again, specifically with Bisping, which is kind of the road to nowhere because that rematch isn't going to happen.
But why not? Why can't that rematch happen? I mean, that would have been the very first thing I thought of was, all right, I don't want Danny getting, any more punishment, but I mean, Bisping hit him, 100 times and didn't have a mark on him. He never hurt him at all. If there's one guy in the world that Danny needs to be fighting, it's Bisping. He's beaten him twice. He only got one victory, but he won that second fight. And it's a lot of money. I mean, you guys are talking about, $500,000, $1 million to do what you did for free, what you would do if shit jumped off right outside that door for nothing. And people do all the time. As a matter of fact, you've got the longest running amateur show on the planet, and people do it for free, and they're trying to get in the door to fight. So, of course, why are you going to pass up that? Now, why he plays that card? Fuck, he's 47 years. What did he just turn, 46 or 47?
I think 47, but I feel like we're saying the same thing here, just in a different way. What I'm saying is, why is he working this I'm retired gimmick while calling guys out? What I'm saying is Dan Henderson is not retired. You can't be retired and then also calling out not only an opponent, but a world title fight. Why is it when I agree with you, somehow you try to twist things into there being something wrong? As a matter of fact, you can go off on 20 minutes on me about, you said this or that. Now, I agree with you. Dan Henderson's probably going to fight again. Yeah, that's what again, we're saying the same thing. So I just said that. He's probably going to fight again, but isn't he painting himself into a bit of a bad corner? I mean, if you're a promotion, you don't want to sign a guy that's saying, I'm going to retire. I mean, if Dan Henderson would have won and walked away with the belt, it sends all sorts of turmoil up. So if you got to kind of pick which pool you want to be in. You either want to be in the world title fight pool or you want to be in the retired pool, but they don't really go together.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to talk about something in MMA that was interesting, the thing that's interesting to me is the UFC whacking, 80 people. The GSP thing is very interesting to me. That they've fought so hard to not work out a fight with him, but then they won't let him go. I mean, the reality of the matter is some shit's going to change with the UFC. It's already started to change. Have you noticed any of the videos that they've been posting?
No, are they different?
Yeah, they're different. They had this timeline for JJ and that the cute Polish girl that she's fighting. I don't know her. I can't pronounce her name. But the fans, our listeners, we are used to a certain product. And when you change that product, I couldn't watch it. I was like, well, this isn't UFC stuff. So they're changing something that they didn't need to change. And I'm starting to see things. If Dana White works for the UFC in 2 years, I would be surprised. I would be surprised. And hopefully what's going to happen is the fighters are going to actually come together and get something, a little. I mean, you got Lieben coming on the show either tomorrow or the next day. Okay. Lieben fought in the UFC 21 or 22 times, a ridiculous amount of times. They're still showing his fights. And yeah, he made a good living in this, that, and the other. But now what's he got? We're going to find out. Probably not. No pension, no this, no that. I mean, if a guy fights in the UFC 20 times, 15 times, there needs to be a trailer. There needs to be a trailer for that guy. This Reebok thing sucks. Their product sucks. It sucks. And if there's ever a time for somebody to come in, the organization that you're working for, Bellator, to come in and make some headway. And I'm a UFC mark, and I've been a UFC mark from day one. I think now's the time. That is interesting to me.
All right, that fair enough. I don't know a lot about the Reebok thing. The product's grown on me. I'll just tell you that. I think the guys actually look sharp. So I don't know that I agree that the product looks. And I don't know much about that deal. You know, I left the UFC a number of months before that kicked in. I've never had much insight into that deal. So you say it sucks, but I don't know. I can't speak to you from perspective on that. Now, as far as the trailers go, what, you just didn't like them? They're being presented different? I haven't seen them. I didn't notice a difference. I noticed a couple of differences in the way the pay-per-views have been presented, but I liked them. I mean, and they were just really slight ones. The ending, by example, they had a collage at the ending, the way that they wrapped and show the executive producers as opposed to the Zuffa. 5 seconds long tops, and I thought it was really clean. I thought it looked good and it looked sharp. But you're saying the videos now are different?
Based on the one that I watched, yes.
All right, guys, here's what you do. Go to DraftKings.com, get action on Joel Supernaw and Brendan. Does Brendan have a last name? Brenda. All right, Joel is now in the corner. He has a look on his face like the puppy that missed the paper.